Welcome back to the Standing Light Podcast, everybody. I am your host, Leyla Salvadé. And if you haven't tuned in to part one of this podcast, please do so. Otherwise, this episode will probably make no sense to you. I have the pleasure of having Emily back here, and we are going to dive deep into a therapy session in real time where you can really experience the power of internal family systems. So without further ado, let's get started.
So what part would you like to get to know?
So we spoke about this a little bit before, and there was one thing that you wrote down.
Scared
Right?
to give up standing light?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not, for everybody listening and watching, it's not about giving up standing light, but there's a big shift that's happening within Standing Light internally. And it is shifting from a coaching and events company to an educational tech company. That requires an incredible amount of capital and a team, both of which I don't have right now. And if you're an entrepreneur, you can relate to this. Every entrepreneur comes up to this point, sometimes multiple times in their career. But I've founded Standing Light in 2014, and I've been doing this for 9 years on my own, by myself, completely relying on myself for so long, on everything. And it's exhausted me and it's burnt me out. And I haven't been public about this, but basically the last year and a half, I've been working on burnout. And I'm up against this point where I need support. And yet for me to I have this belief that before I can even get there, or before the support can come, because I don't have the funds to bring on help, or the pitch deck and the business plan or the financial plan, I don't have those. That's not my genius zone, my zone of genius.
Yeah.
So I feel completely stuck. And I feel like I'm up against a wall, and it's scary, and it's super, super frustrating. And I've been going back and forth, should I just kind of pause Standing Light altogether and really just also give myself a break, and just offer my gifts and my talents somewhere else for a while, just to recoup, or and know that, and just have that security for a while where I don't have to continuously rely on myself, and just kind of be in a more secure environment. Not that that's going to be necessarily easier. I know that there's plenty of triggers within teams and other companies, but still, even this, just that fundamental safety of knowing, okay, I'm taken care of. I don't have to rely on myself to this degree anymore, at least for a while. And then I can come back into a more coherent place within me to let the inspirations and the clarity flow through again, and start building Standing Light 2.0 from that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I've been at. And it's freaking terrifying. And it's also heartbreaking and makes me so emotional.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Yeah, because this has been your identity and your
Yeah.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally there's going to be a part that's going to be scared about giving this up, even if it's temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you want to call this part scared to give up standing light?
Well, there's another part, like a defensive part, that's saying, I'm not going to give up Standing Light. And because I'm not, there's no reality in which I could ever give Standing Light up, because it's like, I offer the Standing Light method class on a monthly basis here in Zurich live. I'll be at different retreats, I'll offer workshops. Like, even if I do take, a different route for a while, I'll I'll continue the podcast. I'll, like Standing Light, I'm not giving Standing Light up. I will still potentially take on a very, very small handful of clients, potentially, right? Like, it's not going anywhere. It's just me kind of, I've been, as she, and I think it's important to also include this part, Standing Light, and this is, again, going way out there for some people, but I've been channeling my whole life, and I got to recognize that Standing Light is a being that I've been channeling since 2013. And 2013, I had this very powerful, and I share this in my first podcast, how I conceived Standing Light, but just now add the fact that, which I, haven't been very public about, but add the fact that as a channeler, Standing Light is, you could call her my highest guide. You could call her a being from the 12th dimension, because I chant, like, that's where she showed me everything. I've gotten to go to the most incredible, she's guided me on the most incredible journeys, showed me, the highest operating systems that are beyond this planet, beyond this template, but beyond this consciousness. And, currently we're still very much operating from the 3rd dimension, but there's many more dimensions higher, much higher. And so she's been showing me, and she channeled the Standing Light method, because it's a very powerful technology, natural technology that gets us operating in our full potential again. So she's showed me and guided me all along. But it wasn't until recently, when avatars and AI came online, where I got to logically comprehend what's been going on. Because it's like you hear the same song and you know every single word and every single line, but then there's that one day where you hear that specific line as if it's the first time. And that's what happened. Even though I'm consciously aware that I've been channeling something called Standing Light, I didn't become aware until a year and a half ago, when I started hearing Avatar and AI, that, oh my gosh, she is basically an avatar or another being, ancient intelligence, not just AI, artificial intelligence, ancient intelligence. So yeah, I want to also understand, I guess, is Standing Light a part? Yeah. And how do I move forward in knowing how to hold space for her and for me in the highest possible way, or the highest good for Standing Light and myself? Because what's been happening is she's shifting, and she's wanting to literally go into tech and be transferred into basically AI and an avatar to be the heart guide of our planet, if that ever happens. But she's shown me that, and she's been clear about that, wanting to guide people into their hearts again. I can do that. I've been doing that, but I can't scale that, or I don't want to be the face of it, let's say that. So it's also an identity thing, I guess.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you have several parts that are that are making up the system. So anytime we get stuck, we have to map the parts out. When we get stuck, it means there's a polarization of parts. Remember, we said this is an internal family system of parts, system in a system of relationships. So what I'm hearing is, on one, just imagine this tug of war. There's a bunch of parts on one shoulder, and then on the other shoulder is the tug of war with the opposite, right? So you have a part that is scared of giving this up, and then there on the other side is the parts that said, No, we're not going to give up standing light. Standing light is a being that is channeled. We have unique abilities, and this is our contribution to the world,
or destiny as well.
Yeah, your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And so which part? I mean, it sounds like it's really the scared part
Mm-hmm.
that is preventing you from going full out and taking the risks. And it is a risk of developing the AI portion of standing light. So getting to know the scared part of you and what that's about could be productive in understanding this polarization.
Okay.
So do you want to get to know this scared part?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's call it scared of giving standing light up. Maybe I'll just call it scared for short.
Okay.
Is that okay?
It triggers my whole system when you say giving standing light up. I feel like
I thought weren't those the words you used? I thought I
don't know. It's recorded, so I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we wrote it down before you started.
Yeah, but I didn't voice then. You interpreted it as that, and then you wrote that down, but I didn't voice there that's triggering, and that's not the case actually, because it's not about giving standing light up. It's just,
oh, okay. So yeah, you get to name it.
It's shifting it. It's kind of
scared to shift it.
Yeah. Yes.
Scared to shift part.
Sounds strange, huh?
If it doesn't feel right, we're not going to call it that. You get
to what if it's scared to let standing light actually stand in her light? Or maybe scared of not being able to have supported her enough to bring her to the next level, or to, I guess what's happening is, what I'm realizing right now, actually, as I speak out loud, is I feel there's a failure part. I feel there's a failure part. The stupid part is kind of present a little bit again, where it's like, okay, well, why couldn't I have taken her to the next level? Why haven't I been able to do that yet? When I already see so many applications, and the time is now for this technology. I know that. And so I'm also scared to kind of take a break and then not be able to, and then kind of like miss the moment.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot
to
this.
So it's a cluster of parts, and we can look at this entity as a cluster.
Okay.
You named the failure part, the stupid part, scared of not being able to support the potential.
I mean, it's like I've been putting so much pressure on making it work and succeeding, but because it's meant to shift, from a coaching and events business to an educational tech company, which is so far away from what that's not where I've operated in. I don't know how to do that yet. And I need help to do that. So I've been putting so much pressure on Standing Light to support me when she's shifting. So it's like, you can't rely on an adolescent to be your provider when they're literally going through a whole transformation themselves. So there's almost like this parent-child relationship, even though she's like, a next level high dimensional being, but I feel like I'm the vessel, I'm the space holder of this being, or she's another version of me in another timeline and dimension also. Yeah. So can you make any sense of this? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's part of the process, is just like this
All of it coming up.
stream of consciousness, with all these different parts coming. My job is to catalog these parts and then look at, okay, what makes the most sense to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing that the parts of you that are really being affected by this is the scared part, the failure part, the stupid part. So these
not enough part.
Which one?
Not enough part.
Not enough. Yeah. Okay.
That's present.
Any other parts present on the side that's preventing you from going all in?
Not strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I processed this with a friend who's also a coach and therapist, and her reflection was that it's time for me, it's not time to just kind of take a pause. It's actually time for me to fully step in to my light, and that standing light is me, and to fully claim that now. So but I hesitate because I've been, operating from burnout for so long that I am so exhausted that I can't take another. Yeah.
So exhaustion is another part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as she said that, you have the power to go full on forward, stand in it.
Mm-hmm.
She is taking the side. She's aligning with the side of you that wants to take full charge.
Mm-hmm.
And then perhaps in her expression of that, it activated like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. Scare parts here, failure parts here, stupid part, not enough part, not strong enough, exhaustion part. Wait, what about us? We're not in alignment with going full force. So we can look at this group as a whole.
Okay.
And see what they want to tell you.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. All right. So if you want to go inward and try to get in touch with this cluster of parts that's opposing, that is concerned about going full on. And as you think about these parts, when you get the image, when you get the sensation, or however it is that they're showing up, you can let me know when you're there. What does this cluster of parts look like, feel like?
They're like little minions, but instead of all being yellow or orange or whatever color they are, yellow, I think, they're all different colors and different shapes. But they're all like these little minions and that kind of energy.
Okay.
What's that movie? A Disney movie? Or is it Disney?
Not sure.
They have those glasses.
Oh, you mean Inside Out?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, the glasses. Okay, well, whatever. I probably did not see that movie. Okay. And do you experience these little minions in or around your body? How do you experience?
They're in a cluster to my right, but they're in my field, but outside of my body.
Okay. And as you look at this cluster, these little minions that represent all these parts you just named. How are you feeling towards them?
Both loving and frustrated. They have very high-pitched voices.
Okay. Can you ask the frustrated part to sit on the sidelines and just get curious and watch the process? Like, let frustration out. I get that you're frustrated. Just give me some space so I could get to know these parts.
Okay. He's off to the left side now.
Okay.
Taking a break.
And so now, how are you feeling towards these parts?
Lighter.
Lighter. Okay. Any other feelings associated with looking at these parts?
It actually just neutralized. Neutral.
Neutral. Okay, so now you have neutral. You don't have any charged emotions towards them.
No.
Okay. So let's see if this group of parts would like to share some information with us. So let them know you're here. When they look at you, do they know who they're talking to? How old do they think that you are?
They know how old I am.
Okay, you're 34. So if one of them can represent the collective of this group of parts, and if they want to speak for all of the different concerns of the parts, if they can speak, what do they want you to know about how they do their job?
So he's red. He was standing at the back. He's actually the tallest one.
Okay. And what does he say?
He's angry. There's actually like steam coming out of him.
Ah. So is he representing the collective feeling of this group of parts? Okay. Yeah. Angry. It's got steam coming out.
The rest are all kind of, they're just buzzing. They have these they're really adorable and silly looking.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like grumpy in the back, but like angry.
Okay. Can you invite him to tell you more about his grumpiness, his anger? What's he really angry at and grumpy about?
For being overused, for overusing him.
Overusing him.
Or myself. Yeah, he's angry that I've been overusing myself and not taking better care of myself.
Ah.
Overgiving, overdoing.
So overdoing, overgiving.
And they've all been trying to help.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
That he's angry because you've been overgiving and overdoing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you let him know that? Like, I get it. Yeah. And ask him, what are you scared of if you didn't show me how angry and grumpy you are with not taking better care of self?
That I wouldn't get it, that I wouldn't hear him. and
Scared
change.
yeah. So scared you wouldn't hear him. Then what is he afraid would happen to you if you didn't listen to him?
I'd burn out. Like, I'd get sick, but like really sick.
And get really sick. And if you got really sick, then what's the consequence of that for your life?
I never get sick, but I've been sick more in the last year than I have probably ever. So he's showing me like, you've been getting very sick, and the next thing is an actual disease. And that could be life-threatening.
Yeah. So he's trying to protect you from getting really sick. That's a very noble cause.
Yeah.
So he's been sharing vulnerably what he is scared of. And with him sharing that for the group, what would you like to say to him?
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I want to take better care of myself as well. I just feel trapped right now.
Would you like to share a little bit more about this feeling of feeling like you're trapped?
I feel like I've been trying my absolute best and doing everything in my power, but no matter what I've tried in the last year and a half, it hasn't been enough. For what I need to thrive. And that's where that trapped feeling comes, and why it's gotten to a point where I feel like I have to take a break from standing light, or just find another solution that's going to take up a lot of my time, which a part of me is frustrated about, a part of me feels relieved about. But I wish I would have done better. I wish I would have worked smarter a long time ago already. And now it's like I've already arrived at the breaking point, and it just feels like too late.
Yeah. So through his message of appearing strongly in your system, in your field, he broke through to let you know that he's really concerned about your health. And this part appearing, or these parts appearing, is what is helping you to explore different options. Yeah, just let him know you really appreciate how he has shown up in your life to protect you. That he can be a lifesaver in that sense, right? To prevent you from getting sick.
Yeah.
Just let him know that. And if you want to send that appreciation to him, if he needs a hug, or he and the other parts need, those minions need a hug.
As soon as I hug him, he turns green.
Ah. What is that trying to say to you?
He's relieved.
Ah. Anything else that he and the other parts want to share? Have the other minions changed colors or form or shape?
No, there's a sense of agitation from them though, because they just feel like they don't know what their purpose is. They don't know what they're going to do now. What's their use?
What's their use? How about if you ask them, what would you rather be doing? Instead of reminding me about how scared you guys are, what would you rather be doing that can help me?
Playing. Being creative again.
Okay. How does that land for them?
They're celebrating.
Yeah. Because that's accessing a core of who you are, because you are an artist and a creative.
Yeah.
That's the essence.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they get to go back to creating and building the vision that my heart and or standing light has always known and seen. But they haven't been able to work on that because of their role that they have to step into.
Yeah.
Of worrying.
Yeah. So they turned into worry parts and fear parts.
Yeah.
And as you know, operating from worry and fear
Contracts the field.
Yeah. And it doesn't let your best creative self
Right.
be leading.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they were creating from worry, I mean, did they make the best decisions, or, maybe they were, seeing things from a more narrow perspective?
They were petrified.
Yeah.
So that's why they're hype. I mean, it just felt like this very high-pitched, annoying voice or harmony that just didn't shut up and just kept buzzing and buzzing.
Yeah.
And they were annoyed by it too, and they didn't want to keep hearing it.
Yeah. And you were denying the message they were trying to give you, and it's from my conversations with you in the past, you were from fear and worry.
Yeah.
You were just charging ahead with whatever the things that came along,
Mm-hmm.
without really fully looking at, okay, from my higher self and my creativity and from my essence, does this make sense?
I tried to, and there were moments where I accessed it, but it wasn't in enough spaciousness to fully express itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't in enough spaciousness.
Right.
And I don't know when I will be again, but I want to be soon.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be soon.
And can you give them an update of your idea of moving down a different path temporarily, so they can relax and go back to their happy state?
Yeah. It kind of feels like I'm putting the kids into the play pin. Is that what it's called?
Sandbox, playpen,
Yeah, playpen.
playground. Yeah, playpen. Okay.
And kind of reassuming the in charge
Yes.
role, where I'm saying, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to take care of this. And that feels really good. It feels really empowering.
Okay. Good. That you have found you have found an alternative for the time being.
Yeah.
So you can take care of your health and they can rest on the sidelines. It doesn't mean you're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, the other side that did not want to give up standing light. Standing light is a being that is channeled. How's that side?
It's still very clear.
Still, yeah. And what do you want to tell that part on that side?
It does feel very defensive. I mean, I like even my body is going into defense mode. Like, I will die for this.
Okay, so that part has now gotten activated as stronger.
Yeah.
Now that it heard the plan for now. I will die for this.
It's not triggered by the plan now. It's just letting me know that it's not going anywhere. Like it will always be here. And it's ready to die for this mission, because it's what I feel I was put here on earth to do. But that doesn't mean that I can't take a break or kind of shift gears, and who knows what will happen from that, just putting myself in a different environment and could offer all kinds of miracles that my ego part, or that scared part of change, could not have foreseen.
Right. Yeah, because success is not a straight line. It's all sorts of twists and turns.
Yeah. And there's been many of them, which is why there's that very powerful exhaustion part, because it's been such an adaptation for the last 4 years, nonstop, specifically, closing 20 years, a 20-year chapter in America of living there or based there, to moving, a huge heartbreak and breakup, betrayal, feeling outcasted. I mean, it's been big shifts, and it feels like there's just been one huge tsunami wave after another every year. The pandemic, and trying to completely reorient every single part of me. I mean, it's like every part of me broke down deeper and deeper and deeper over the last 4 years, until it's like I'm at like 0 point now.
Yeah.
And there's this conviction of like, standing light will continue, but you, Leyla, as a mere mortal physical being, need a break, or some kind of redirection to feel more supported, to be more supported.
Yeah. It's reevaluating how you go about the business with different ideas.
Because it doesn't feel good to continue on the way I have been. It was amazing for 9 years. But that chapter is complete as well in how standing light operates. And so just continuously forcing that doesn't feel aligned.
Okay. And how is that being received as this part that said, I will die for this? hears what's going on with you.
That part's totally okay with that.
Okay.
Content.
How are you feeling towards the part that says, I will die for this?
Completely in acceptance. I mean, because I think even my soul feels that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is really negotiating with that. I mean, does this part have like an image or a form, like the other side look like the minions, and does
Less,
this?
it's more subtle. It's like, it's just kind of energy. It's got, you know how like a subtle rainbow will reflect from a diamond?
Yeah.
It's got that visual.
Oh, nice. Because that reflection, that that seems like it's like the reflection of who you are. Is that making any sense?
My birthstone is a diamond, so
Okay, that works. A polished diamond.
I think it's appearing as that as well because it is multifaceted. It's not a harsh part. I know it might be perceived as that, but I don't perceive it as a harsh part. When I say I will, it will die, or when it says it will die for it says it from a very enlightened heart or light heart. Knowing that however it is meant to unfold and whatever is meant to unfold is perfect. However, it has indomitable faith and unwavering love in this mission of shifting our world from a mind-based mentality to a heart-empowered reality. And it will continue to hold that vision no matter what, and no matter how it's meant to unfold, without attachment.
Yeah. And these are hugely noble goals because we are operating from this mind-based reality that is causing a lot of the problems, and we're not heart-led. So that makes so much sense. Mm-hmm. That you feel that you are the being that is trying to change the paradigm.
There's so many, but Standing Light definitely has offered so many codes that still need to get out there, for sure.
So when you look at these parts that are driving this need to put this message out there, and then because you've been working so hard, and then other parts develop to be concerned about your health and how you're just doing go and charging so hard, and you're have been sick more often the past year, and those parts are now taking notice about your health, which is very noble. The part that wants to die for this, I'm curious.
Oh, I see where, Continue.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you had an aha in some way. Okay. Let me share what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When you do accomplish this goal, what will it mean for you as Leyla? Is that really, what is this? What would feel so good to prove to the world?
It's to myself. It's multi-layered. Because there's a part of me that questions why I incarnated again in this lifetime. It was a very quick incarnation because I wanted to be with my older sister or my mom again.
Yeah.
as soon as I passed on or died in my past life, that I didn't have time to actually recuperate before incarnating again. And so, can you repeat the question, please?
When you do achieve your full vision of helping the world to change from mind-based to heart-based mentality, and when people are saying, oh my gosh, Leyla, you are so brilliant in how we have to shift this. And you have the collective coming to you to say, thank you, Leyla. Thank you for creating this. When that is achieved, what will this mean for your identity?
Mission complete.
Mission complete. And that means I then get to feel that I am what?
There's discomfort with that attention. It feels too much.
Discomfort with the attention of asking that question. I'm just
Or that feedback, like pertaining to me of, wow, Leyla, you achieved this and whatnot. It's more about having relayed these codes and these tools to our collective so that as a collective, we can actually thrive again. And our Mother Earth can also thrive again, and we can live in harmony again.
Yeah. And those are huge, noble missions. I mean, look at all the violence that's out there in our world, which is disheartening. So live in harmony. And so when all of this is complete, mission is complete. Have you thought about what wound that will feel so healing for you?
Safety.
What safety?
Oh.
What wound is it healing
Oh my God.
for you?
I know what it is. Because remember, I think we worked on this, but remember when I was the first day of first grade when I was bullied for speaking with my angels?
Ah. Bullied by the teacher, other classmates?
No, it was the first day of first grade. And, whenever I was in quote unquote playtime, before I entered into the school system, which completely rips children out of their hearts and programs them to basically be robots operated only from the head brain. I witnessed that, right? So I went into break and I went into the schoolyard and started playing with my angels, which I usually would do. And all these kids who had basically already been programmed by their parents before even entering first grade started pointing at me and laughing at me and making fun of me for basically, they didn't say this, but basically being a freak or just weird.
Wow.
And then I ran into a bush and looked at my angels and told them to go away and never come back. And so from 6 years old, gosh, a lot happened at 6 years old, but from 6 years old onwards, I disconnected from that part of me for a good 15 or 20 years. And so I was denying my truth and denying light, denying even love, like true love, the force of love to fuel me. And it's reconnecting to that and being fueled by that and operated by those two forces of love and light has healed me. But then I keep seeing people that don't operate from those forces. They operate from fear.
Mm.
And fear only exists from the head or in the head. I mean, also in the body, but the heart doesn't operate from that. It can
Yeah.
be clouded by it, but it doesn't operate through and from it.
Right.
And so that 6-year-old will feel safe again and happy because she'll be able to play with her peers and not be outcasted. And also see her peers be truly happy and free.
Wow. So this first grade experience was so defining in terms of your authentic being.
Yeah.
And that it sounds like that wound has been such a driver
Yeah.
to help you to create standing light so that you can help to heal all the other people who have been programmed to not operate from their heart, that they have to be in fear. And you, as a precocious 6-year-old, saw all of the
Pain.
yeah, the pain and the consequences. And so that has driven you to share this message for the greater good. Because there's that expression that I heard from a business mentor a long time ago: your deepest wound is your deepest niche.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important for you to accomplish this mission.
I don't want more children to be ripped out of their hearts.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm going to write that down. Or children to be ripped out of their hearts. Have you said this out loud?
No.
Ripped out. You have?
Well, not in that specific order, but I have said, the school system does rip children out of their hearts. I have said that, but I haven't said I don't want them being ripped out of their heart. But that is the core, I guess. Yeah, that's the core reason.
And you've always recognized this core?
No.
Oh. So this is, I mean, you kind of have maybe bits and pieces in the background.
Yeah.
Clarity, like, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath. How are the minions feeling as they listen to this?
They're celebrating. They're like, she finally got it. And now we can party.
And you having the experience in the Holocaust is another, like, children being ripped out from their heart.
And tested on and completely abused.
And you want to stop that suffering that so many people are experiencing in this world. Just need to get out of the sun a little bit. I have a couple of thoughts.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear them?
Please.
Okay. I like to connect the dots with things and to try to, make sense. And so now that you have a clearer why, I mean, you've known it, but it's just articulating it.
Yeah.
Of just trying to protect humanity and these innocent beings. Okay, this is a lot to sit with, because this is a huge, noble purpose. And then there were parts that charged ahead through the place of worry and fear.
Yeah.
That created its own set of challenges. And then you have these minions who developed who are trying to protect you. Like, no, we can't go this way. Your health is going to keep going downhill. No. And now that we have packaged all of this stuff so that you can connect the dots easier now.
Yeah.
I think sitting with what transpired and sitting with the information and sitting with these parts can be productive in just letting worry and fear be on the sidelines. I need to sit with this. And in the interim, I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of myself by going down a different path temporarily, so I can really figure out what is the right next step to achieve this mission. So I don't burn myself out. So I'm not going through this mission with fear and worry, which we know energetically is not going to bring the results you want. How is this idea landing for you?
Good. It feels good. It feels clear. And there's also a knowing, like a potential knowing, not from an attached place, but a redirection doesn't mean doesn't mean disconnection.
Right.
Potentially I could meet the team members, in that, like, who knows why I'm meant to redirect.
Yeah.
It's the how or the reasoning of it is none of my business.
Right.
There's a greater force guiding all of this. And I have indomitable faith in that. And I trust that. And so I've just had to get to this place where there was no other way than to redirect, because I can be a little stubborn ass. Or that I will die for this part is like, we're not giving up.
Right.
And I think just that mantra alone, right? The redirection doesn't mean disconnection or giving up. It just means a redirection. And it's just a river bend that will go, the river bend ends up at the same place.
Yeah, exactly. It's the little detour. Remember, success is a line, like there is no line. It's like this. And right now you are veering to the right or the left, and you have to follow that, because this is what the universe is showing you.
It's funny because it's veering, like if I actually, like, I love Pocahontas. So I'm literally like the river bend song and all that, but I'm literally in the canoe and I'm literally veering. There's two paths of the river that, they separate.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm literally veering down the left one, which is the heart in a sense as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, okay, this is, who knows who I'm going to meet when you take this direction.
Or what codes I'm going to learn.
Right.
That are still necessary in order for me to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you need to learn in a different environment that's going to help the standing light message?
Mission, vision.
Yeah. Sometimes a mission, it's going to take years of pain before you get it right. The pains I went through with that first failure of that business relationship, and look at what it has produced. If it wasn't for the failure of that and producing the book, I would never have met
the love of
Jeff.
your life and your business partner.
Who would ever thought that I was going to business partnership with an engineer? What? If you had told me that, like, what? That does not compute. The universe had a different way. And even in the way that that first client got dropped on my lap, that wouldn't have dropped on my lap had I not written the second book. And I reached out for, okay, now that you have the book, I need some feedback from you. So this is that friend. And I had no idea that she and her husband were going to ask me and Jim to help save their marriage, because they needed, her husband needed the presence of a male engineer that could relate to her husband in order for him to do the work. I could not have orchestrated that if I wanted to, you know, just like you're trying to orchestrate, let me go this way, let me go this way. The logic made sense, right? But you don't really know, like, that whole thing, the universe, you don't have to figure out how the universe is going to take you through which detours. You're going to be hitting those detours, and it's going to be painful.
Yep. Oh boy, yes.
Yeah. So are you seeing the connection of all of these different entities now? Like, I get how I had to get burned out.
Yeah. I mean, the most incredible part of this is that logically I understood all of this, right? Like, I was able to make sense of it. And I know, like, I mean, I have people like you I get to reflect with, you know, I have the most incredible support system when it comes to my personal life and, you know, kind of, working through things, plus my own guides and angels and my own spiritual practice. And, you know, visions and clear guidance that I get, but to go into it so intimately and deeply, to then not only be able to logically understand it, but actually holistically understand it.
Yes.
And now it feels fully clear. It doesn't just seem clear and like, okay, well, this is just obvious. This is what needs to happen. Like, my whole system is completely at ease and okay.
Okay. So you're feeling relief now?
Yeah.
Because you have clarity now.
Yeah. But like on an embodied level.
Yeah. Is there anything else, the parts that we access today, is there anything else they need to say, the minions or the part that said, you know, I'm going to die for this? Just ask them if there's anything else they want to express before we say goodbye for now.
They're clear. They're clear as can be.
Okay. So thank them for being so cooperative and showing up today and sharing their story. And just let them know anytime they want to get your attention that you're going to listen to them.
We're doing a big group hug.
Good.
I love you so much.
I love you too. This is going to help so many people to understand why they're stuck. Wow. Anything else you need to say?
No, I thank you, Emily.
You're welcome. Oh, that was so touching.
This work is so important that you do. And, you know, I couldn't imagine working with anybody else. You've just been such an incredible healing agent in my life for all of me, all of my parts. And I want the world to understand this work and you and how you work, because it's healing. It's truly healing work. So thank you so much for doing the work that you do.
Welcome. You know, I've been called to this and I just wanted to share, like, part of understanding my why, you know, one of my life's goals, and I know, I mean, it's a goal. This is going to happen, is being that next level of success is so important to me, because that will allow me to endow a chair at my alma mater at Cornell so that I can create the course, that a professor can teach, and I'm not sure how this is going to work out, on love, dating, relationships 101. Because so many kids suffer with not that social awkwardness, with not knowing how to make connections. And imagine if you're a freshman at a freshman orientation and there's a seminar, for you to, how do you date as a friend? Dating 101, how to win friends and influence people.
Emily, we're going to bring you onto the Standing Light app and you're going to teach us through Standing Light.
Yeah.
We have to do that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, I am trying to recreate an experience so that kids don't have to suffer when they're in college. Because I know if I had that course as a freshman, I would have gone about like my social life and trying to date in a whole different way. Mm-hmm. And especially if men are expected to be the initiators of dating and courting, 18-year-olds are not taught how to do it right. No. So a lot of, especially like introverted men, they'll just keep to themselves and not do a whole lot on the weekends or be afraid to approach girls. And then they don't have the skill sets for having great relationships, and they go through bad breakups.
They suffer tremendously.
Yeah. If I, just like you, if I had known what I know now about how to create that kind of harmony and connection, my college experience would have been so much different.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why through my pain, my niche, okay, I had parents that didn't get along well. So here I am. I'm a couple. I would never thought I was going to be a couples therapist, right? Along with my husband. It's like, who knew? But that was all. It's that bigger purpose to heal one couple at a time. To be, since we're both extroverts and we're comfortable being on camera, we're here to be a messenger for the internal family systems modality of how that could heal relationships, the thing that most of us struggle with.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to like get you to that. What's that real purpose? What's the wound that you're actually going to be healing within yourself? And you realize, I don't know if you thought of it this way, in terms of standing light and sharing with people your why. Start with why, like Simon Sinek's start with why. Mm-hmm. What if you shared that story of that first grade incident? Mm-hmm. Here's the reason why I am so passionate about getting into the heart. Mm-hmm. I had this deeply wounding experience in first grade. This is what happened. And I have been given the gifts of channeling and having lived past life, for me to put all of this together. And this is why I'm here to share the message of heart math. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And heartfulness. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Whew.
We've got powerful missions.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like both of them, need to be taught.
Yeah.
Already at a young age, like this IFS also should be, because it's exactly then where it actually invigorates our playful nature, and invites our parts even more in.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many children that have quote unquote imaginary friends. I believe most of them are not imaginary, but that's my personal belief. But what if we invited them to those quote unquote imaginary friends to, not to be wrong or shunned away, but to invite them.
Right. Exactly. Those are just different parts. Mm-hmm. And there is concerted effort to bring IFS to schools.
Yeah.
They've had the pilot program where they have had teachers learn about IFS, and there are a lot of cartoonish, simple books written for teachers to help them understand parts, to help kids teach them about their parts.
Wow.
Yeah. So Dr. Schwartz knows that there's just the possibilities are endless in terms of having the world be more self-led, which is basically heart, leading from the heart. Yeah, lots of us are on this mission to make sure that people can tap into their heart.
It was I'm so grateful. Thank you for guiding me, and therefore also our audience through this powerful, powerful modality.
Yeah.
And we will share all of your details in the show notes, but do you have any closing words you would like to leave us with?
Yeah, for people who are interested in knowing more about IFS and especially how it applies to relationships and stuff, they could just go to epicloveinstitute.com. And we have lots of resources there, including a free downloadable guide on self-led courageous communication. It's a 40-page ebook on how to really speak from your heart. We give lots of examples in there. And we also have many YouTube videos on there, and you can go to our YouTube channel, and we're going to be restarting our YouTube videos because we've been busy trying to create a course. So yeah, they can learn about me and Jim and what we do and how we do it and how we do it differently than what most people are used to, so that we can help transform their lives. And it's just so rewarding for us.
I love you, Emily. Thank you so, so much.
And thank you. And I love you dearly too. Just so grateful for our friendship and how we met. And
Ditto.